Welcome back to another deep dive. Today we are packing our bags and heading south. Way, way south. We're going to the home of the current world champions.
We are.
We are talking about Argentina.
A country that right now feels like the center of the football universe.
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of Argentina, you think of that image of Lionel Messi lifting the trophy in Qatar.
Yeah.
You think of Diego Maradona. You think of this incredible, just endless conveyor belt of talent.
It is the gold standard for talent production, absolutely.
And this is a pretty massive but we need to get into today. The source material you brought paints a very, very different picture of what's happening back home.
It does.
It describes the domestic league system there as, and I'm quoting the author here, a place where the devil himself would break a leg.
It's a very evocative image, isn't it? But honestly, it's not an exaggeration.
See, that's what I want to understand.
Yeah.
Because normally we look at tactics or finances, but today our mission is to untangle the structure itself. The Argentine football tango, as you called it. Why is it so complicated?
Because in Argentina, football isn't just a sport. It's a political battlefield. So we aren't talking about a simple league table. We're talking about aperturas, clausuras, pyramids that literally split in half depending on your zip code.
That sounds like absolute chaos.
It is chaos. It's a labyrinth. Even locals find it dizzying.
Right?
But if you stick with us, by the end of this, you're going to understand why it's like this. We're going to map it out.
Okay, I'm ready. But you have to start me at square one. Because when I think of a football league, the Premier League, the Bundesliga, it's a pyramid.
Right.
Top division, second division, it gets wider at the bottom, teams move up and down. Simple. Is that not how it works?
Well, from a distance, it looks like a pyramid. Yeah. But when you get closer, you realize it's actually two different pyramids sort of glued together with a VIP section at the top that stopped accepting new members 50 years ago.
Okay, you have to explain that. A VIP section. What does it even mean?
This is the aha moment. This is the key. If you don't get this, nothing else makes sense. The entire system is defined by a great schism.
A schism.
A split between two types of clubs. The directly affiliated and the indirectly affiliated.
Direct and indirect. Okay, so what does that mean in practice?
It's all about history and geography. Argentina is a massive country, but football grew up in this hyper-centralized bubble around the capital, around Buenos Aires.
Right.
In the early days, the clubs there cared more about playing teams from Montevideo in Uruguay than traveling inland to play a team from the provinces.
So the capital city just became its own little footballing island.
Precisely. The Buenos Aires League basically swallowed the national system. So today you have the directly affiliated clubs. These are the teams in the federal capital, Greater Buenos Aires, and a few historic exceptions. They answer directly to the AFA, the Argentine Football Association.
Okay. And everyone else?
Everyone else is indirect. If you're a club from the interior, the rest of the country, you don't register with the AFA. You register with your local league. That league answers to a federal council, and that council answers to the AFA.
It's a whole different bureaucratic track.
It is. And here's the stat that just blew my mind. There are over 3,000 football clubs in Argentina.
3,000, okay.
So how many do you think are directly affiliated in that VIP club?
Well, if it covers the whole capital, which is huge, I don't know, 300 or 400?
87.
87 out of 3,000.
87. That's the list. And here's the kicker. The AFA basically closed the door to new direct memberships back in the 1970s.
So you couldn't just join. If I started a club in Buenos Aires in 1990 with money and players...
Generally, no. You were locked out. They've made a couple of very recent exceptions, but for decades, that list was set in stone.
That just creates a massive inequality from the start. You have this tiny group of chosen clubs, and then this ocean of other teams trying to swim upstream.
Exactly. And that distinction, direct versus indirect, it dictates everything.
All right, so with that split in mind, let's go to the top, the penthouse, the Primera Division. This is where River Plate, Boca Juniors. Surely it's straightforward up there.
You would think so, but straightforward doesn't really exist in Argentina. In the 2024 season, the top division had 28 teams.
28? That's huge. Most top leagues have 20, maybe 18?
It's bloated. They play a single round-robin tournament, 27 matches, most points wins.
Okay, that part sounds normal. I can follow that.
The format is, but the governance is not. This is the chaos factor. The source highlights something that happened in October of 2024. The season runs May to December, so we're months in.
Right in the middle of it.
Teams are fighting for the title, fighting relegation. And on October 17th, the AFA holds a meeting and just announces, guess what? No relegation this year.
You're kidding. In October.
While the games were being played, the trap door was just sealed shut.
That's insane. It's like running a marathon. You're at mile 20, and an organizer jumps out and says, don't worry, everyone gets a medal.
It completely changes everything. The pressure is gone for the bottom teams, but structurally it has a worse effect. Because if nobody goes down...
But teams still come up.
The league gets even bigger.
Oh, no.
Exactly. The source indicates that for the 2025 season, it's set to have 30 teams.
30 teams in the top flight. That is so unwieldy.
It is. And it just highlights how they tend to prioritize, let's say, political stability, keeping certain clubs happy over sporting consistency. They move the goalposts whenever it suits them.
Exhausting for the fans, I'd imagine.
Right. So you have level 1, the top flight, it's national. But the moment you step down to level 2, that great schism we talked about starts to creep back in.
Okay, let's go there. Level 2, the Primera Nacional.
This is the melting pot. You have 38 teams in this division.
Again, just huge numbers.
Huge. And it's a mix. Elite Buenos Aires clubs that got relegated, strong provincial challengers, they all play together here.
So it's a mixed league. What happens when you leave?
Going up is simple. You go to the Primera, but going down, that's where the labyrinth splits.
Okay, walk me through this slowly.
It depends entirely on your address. If you're a directly affiliated team, one of the BA clubs, and you get relegated, you drop into a league called Primera B Metropolitana.
Door number 1.
But if you're an indirectly affiliated team from the interior, you get relegated to a completely different league called Torneo Federal A.
So one second division feeds into 2 totally separate third divisions.
Yes, it bifurcates. And the math for who actually gets relegated is what the source calls fuzzy.
Fuzzy seems like a massive understatement.
It's a mess. It depends on which teams finish last. You could have a weird year where 3 interior teams go down, flooding the Federal A, or maybe it's 3 city teams. You can't predict the size of the leagues below from year to year.
A logistical nightmare.
It is. So let's follow those 2 paths down. Let's take the metro path first. The city slickers.
The path for the 87 chosen ones.
Exactly. Level 3 is the Primera B Metropolitana, 17 clubs, mostly from the city. Standard format, champion goes up, then a playoff for the others.
That sounds manageable, almost delightful compared to what we've been talking about.
The metro path is more sane because the travel is nothing. You can take a public bus to your away games.
Right. And below that.
Level 4 is Primera C Metropolitana. This uses the old Apertura and Clausura format.
The opening and closing tournaments. I've heard those terms.
Yep. 2 mini-seasons in 1 year. The winner of the opening plays the winner of the closing for the championship.
And the basement? Level 5.
Torneo Promotional Amateur, formerly Primera D. And there's a rule here I just love. Players have to be under 26 years old.
An age cap?
An age cap, and they cannot have ever signed a professional contract.
So it's like a last chance saloon?
Pretty much. If you haven't made it as a pro by 26, you're out of the AFA system. It's a tiny, sealed-off ecosystem, only 14 clubs.
Okay, that's the city path. It's quirky, but I can wrap my head around it. Now I'm looking at the notes for the federal path.
This is where we enter the wilderness.
The source calls level 3 here, the Torneo Federal A, insanity.
Yeah.
It's got 38 teams, but the format, this diagram looks like a circuit board that exploded.
It's designed to be a survival course. It starts with zones, then a championship stage with 4 different phases.
4 phases just to win.
Just for the winners.
Yeah.
But here's the cruel part. If you fail, you don't go home. You drop into something called the Rivalita.
Rivalita.
Redemption. Basically, the redemption bracket. And the Rivalita is a monster. It has 6 phases.
6.
It's like losing in a video game and getting dropped into a dungeon where you have to fight 5 more bosses just to get back to the surface.
And this is the federal tournament. We're not talking bus rides across the city.
No, absolutely not. We are talking 15, 20-hour bus rides, teams from the north near Bolivia traveling all the way south. The costs are astronomical. You could travel thousands of kilometers, survive 5 elimination rounds, and still not get promoted.
Agonizing. And that's just level 3. What's below that?
Below that is level 4, the Torneo Regional Federal Amateur. And then below that, level 5, the regional leagues.
The bottom of the iceberg.
This is the bedrock. We're talking about over 200 regional leagues scattered across the country.
200 leagues.
But here's the catch. They don't all play every year. The source talks about a process called homologation.
Homologation sounds like something you do to an engine.
It means certifying your paperwork. Every year, these tiny leagues have to apply to the federal council and say, yes, we can afford to play, our stadiums are safe, our police contracts are signed, And often they just can't.
So the league map literally changes every single year.
Constantly. And winning your local league just gets you a ticket to enter that massive, brutal federal tournament funnel.
It's just such a stark contrast.
Yeah.
The 87 chosen clubs, safe in their world, and then this chaotic ocean of thousands of others just fighting to exist.
It really is the tension at the heart of the country. Centralized power versus this massive, passionate geography. The football structure tries to do both and just creates this tangled web.
There was a quote in the source that made me laugh. The writer is explaining these lower leagues and just stops. They say, I don't see the point in drowning myself in this sea and drowning you too.
It's a moment of mercy. Because honestly, to explain every single rule, we would be here for a week.
So, stepping back, why does this matter? Why should you, listening at home, care about this?
Because it shows that football isn't just what happens on the pitch. The structure of a league tells you a story about a country, about its power dynamics, about its history, its political history written in fixture lists.
And yet, despite all this chaos, the passion isn't dead.
Not at all. It's stronger than ever. People still fill those stadiums. They'll still travel 12 hours on a bus to watch their team in some obscure third phase of a revolita.
The chaos is part of the charm, maybe.
It certainly prevents boredom. You can never get comfortable.
Well, we promised to untangle the labyrinth. I think we've mapped out the main corridors, at least.
We've definitely shown a light on the machinery.
Just to recap, we started with that direct versus indirect split. The 87 VIPs versus everyone else. We saw the top flight cancel relegation just for fun. Then the dual pyramids below. One neat and tidy, the other a battle royale.
Battle Royale is the perfect way to describe the Federal A.
Now, before we let you go, I have to leave you with one final thought from the source. We spent this whole time talking about the leagues.
Right, not the cups.
The source ends with this teaser. It says, if you thought the league structure was hard to follow, the qualification rules for the Copa Argentina, the Argentina Cup, are a headache for another day.
Oh, absolutely. That's a whole other door we should not open today.
We will save that for a future deep dive. For now, next time you see a highlight of River or Boca, just remember the chaotic, beautiful, impossible machine churning away underneath them.
Appreciate the simple beauty of the game, even when the spreadsheet behind it is a complete mess.
Well said. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.
Goodbye.